danced with a man, who's danced with a girl, who's danced with the Prince of Wales. It was simply grand, he said, topping band, and she said, delightful, sir. Glory, glory, hallelujah, I'm the luckiest of females, for I've danced with a man, who's danced with a girl, who danced with the Prince of Wales.
Damn hard working this kid. Sit down, Joey.
Well, there's no time for that, sir.
What's next?
Sergeant's mess, 12:20. 10 to 1, visit the men's cookhouse. 1:15, a light lunch in the officers' mess. Then change and drive to Tweezendown for the regimental steeplechase at 3:30.
Excellent. I'm looking forward to that.
Yes, I'm sure you are, sir. But I must remind you that the King would like you to stop it.
Oh, don't nag, Joey. I need the exercise.
Very well, sir. After the steeplechase, we return here, where there'll be beating retreat, and then dinner in the officers' mess.
Not a second wasted. And what time can we get away?
About 11 o'clock, sir.
Not earlier? I mean, if dinner's once over.
Well, if you leave immediately after dinner, sir, it will cause offence.
11 sharp, then. You promise, Joey?
Sir.
Gentlemen! At ease, please. How are you, Sergeant Major?
Very well, thank you, sir.
You still playing rugby football for the battalion?
Yes, sir, thank you, sir. But getting a bit past it.
Well, not you, surely. You'll be drill sergeant, Owen?
Yes, sir.
New here, I think.
Just came up from the depot last month, sir.
Well, they'll be missing you, I'm sure.
Sir.
Sergeant Evans. Sir. Sergeant Boothby.
Sir.
Sergeant James.
Sir.
Come on, Sergeant Neil.
Sir.
My compliments to you, gentlemen. Your very good health. How nice to see old friends.
For he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow. And so say all of us, and so say all of us, and so say all of us. For he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow. And so say all of us. Hip, 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 hooray! Hip, 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 hooray! Hip, 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 hooray!
Thank you so much, Charlie. It was kind of you.
Back to your house, sir?
Yeah, straight home, but I need to change. I'll need the car to go on up.
Will you be needing me too, sir?
Thank you, Joey. Not put out, are you? I'm going to have a bit of fun, Joey.
only thought you might be tired, sir. Well, I worry. We all do, lest you might be overdoing things a bit. After all, it's been a very long day.
Gone awfully well. Yes, I enjoyed the race. Didn't lose by much, you know.
Well, His Majesty's not going to be pleased, sir. You know their Royal Highness is most anxious to stop you racing over fences.
Well, that's all very well, but I must have a bit of fun, you know. I do all I can to please others in public.
Yes, I know that, sir.
I don't see why my private life should be rearranged to suit my father.
But it isn't, sir, is it? I mean, for example, I don't know where you're going on to.
I don't know where I'm going to the Embassy Club. And I shall meet some old friends, most of whom I'd probably give the King a severe heart attack. Not bad at all. Yes, be any luck, be there by 1. Well played, Joey. Don't know what I'd do without you. Thank you, Luigi.
Hello, sir. Had a good day?
Yeah, very good. Rode a race? Poor Jane thought I'd fall off, of course.
Really? Good for you.
How are you?
Fine.
How are the children?
Oh, they're fine. They sent their love.
Freda, can I persuade you to change your mind about the trip to East Africa? Do come. It's been such fun. You can stay with Edward and Joan Greg, you know, and then join me on my safari.
David, we've talked about this 1,000 times. And I know, and you know, that I can't.
Well, yes, I know. But wouldn't it have been lovely to go away together?
Yes, it would, but it's impossible.
Who's in the party tonight?
Only Dickie and Edwina.
I expect they're coming over, aren't they? Can you stop them sitting down?
Yes, of course. I know you won't want to go alone. I'm sure Thelma wouldn't mind tagging along. Of course, the palace isn't going to like it, but I dare say that you think that that's your own affair. Yes. Someday, David, you're going to have to find someone that isn't married. And strike into unmapped territory. Find someone that isn't ready trained.
Sounds like the palace again.
Well, I dare say it does. There's Thelma. She's just come in. And why don't you go and join us? Tell her that you got my permission.
But I'd like to dance with you first.
No, you go and dance with Thelma. You've got to get in some practice for East Africa.
Nairobi, Thelma.
Nairobi, sir.
Yes, that's where you'll get your invitation to join me on safari. Duke won't mind your leaving?
Duke will have his own amusements.
Good. Like everybody to be happy. Yes. And yes, yes. Beyond all expectations. What charming.
Watch our complexions the whole time.
You thought so too, did you? What charming children.
Yes, they're the little bastards, sir.
Oh, you put them in uniform out here, do you?
Look out. The bloody thing is coming.
Shall I be mother? Okay. Is it Dad? Lovely afternoon. Anybody for a walk?
What a good idea. Would you excuse me, gentlemen?
Of course, sir.
I promise you, darling, there are no snakes in this part of Africa.
You'd better
Never
be
been seen. Never been seen.
I don't believe you for a minute. Oh, I have had a marvelous time. Pure pleasure.
Me too.
Oh, yes, except for all that officialdom. All those ghastly government sahibs to cope with, you poor darling.
Bawanas, darling.
What?
I think they're called bawanas here.
Oh, I can just imagine it. All those stringy wives and spotty daughters gawping at you like crocodiles. Oh, with sheer adoration, luckily for you, or they'd have eaten you up. You've certainly done your bit to hold the empire together.
This is my job. Still, I think we've earned our little adventure together, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Yes, but now the treat's over.
Well, not quite. I thought that we'd do the last 40 miles together by car. The rest of them can pack up and then follow.
Oh, darling. Oh, yeah. But Joey would never allow you to go without an escort.
Oh, yes, he will.
With respect, sir, you sure this is prudent?
I don't see why not. I know the way.
I'm afraid there is no way, sir. The country between here and Boy is absolutely trackless. All you know is the direction.
That should be enough.
Oh, I should hate you to lose it, sir. But after all, that can happen to anyone in the bush. I mean, you could have an accident, the car could break down, you might fall in.
Can't you get worried, but my mind's made up. Get in now, my darling, would you?
But at least let me send a guide with you, sir.
I think I've all the company I need. Poor Joey. Awful old woman. Thelma, darling.
Mm-hmm.
There won't be a chance to say goodbye properly at Void.
Here?
Here? At the stop.
John, what is it? Shall I drive?
No, I do.
Not really.
No, I have to carry on. Behind time. Don't want them minding a search party.
Sir? Sir. David. David. David.
David! Please, wake up. Oh, please, God, make him wake up. Oh, somebody come.
So, now that you're feeling better, I'm afraid I have some rather unpleasant news for you. Please read this. Oh, we must get home right away. Well, the light cruiser Enterprise is waiting to take you from Dar es Salaam, sir. Everything's packed up and ready to go the minute that you're fit. Well played, Joey. I am fit. Yes, a very good journey indeed. Thank you, Prime Minister. No, from Brindisi on, Mussolini led me his own train.
So I hear, sir.
We got home very quickly. He certainly makes them run on time.
Mr. Baldwin, how is the king? Do hope you'll be glad to see me.
As to that, sir, your mother asked me to prepare you.
For what?
Well, sir, not to see His Majesty when you arrive at the palace tonight. He is too ill to see anyone at all.
What do you mean?
The doctors say he is not to be disturbed by anybody.
Well, let's wait and see.
I'm sorry to be the one to tell you this, sir.
Not at all, Mr. Baldwin. It's very kind of you, thank you.
Prime Minister, do please remember that you can always speak to me about anything.
Thank you, sir.
With respect, sir, it is essential that His Majesty should be totally undisturbed.
But you don't forbid me to see him.
I can't do that, sir. But I will not take the responsibility.
Lord Dawson, damn the responsibility, I'll take it.
Oh, it's you, is it? Damn you. How the devil are you doing now?
king is supposed to be dying, and the prince tries on the crown. The king wakes up and sees him, is so angry that he recovers. Only for a moment, if I remember.
What are you talking about?
Shakespeare, Henry IV.
Oh, well, George V will be as sound as a bell. God has saved the king. Still, his relief is so much better. It's been quite a scare. I suppose I better pack up steeplechasing. That would please him, wouldn't it?
Certainly would.
Oh, look at that house over there. Just caught a glimpse.
Oh, David, it's enchanting.
It is. It's a little close to Windsor, maybe, but it's very pretty. By Jove, I like it awfully.
Good God. What on earth's that? Oh, it's the little prince. Stop the car, Mummy. Why are you dressed like that?
I'm practicing for the parade tomorrow. Yeah, do you want to try it on, Angie?
Oh, all
Take your
right.
hat off, then. There. Didn't your sister come with you?
No, I can't see a thing.
I'll tell you what.
heavy.
You take this inside. I'm sure Osborne will give you a drink.
All right.
All right?
Careful, David. Mad Dog's an Englishman.
Yes, I was getting rather hot.
You've done wonders. It was clever of us both to find this place.
Come and see what I've done over here. You know, I'm so happy here.
You're not careful. Something's going to get broken.
They're unbreakable!
It says so.
I didn't mean the record. Wedgwood, I think.
It's entirely Thelma's fault she began the whole thing.
Oh, I won't have anybody blaming Thelma. You two let her on.
Oh, Elizabeth, you're so right. Just look at how sweet you are. Butter wouldn't melt, would you? Do you know, you'd never believe what a lazy girl she was before she married. She never used to get up at all if she could possibly help it, unless, of course, as a race meeting.
Ah, but I wasn't sleeping. I was reading, improving my mind. Ah.
I'll just squeeze this one dry, Wallace, and then I'll make some more.
We'll send him some smoke signals if we get desperate.
You've got a party, I didn't realize. Quite a crowd. Look, I won't stay if you don't mind. I'm not in the mood.
No crowds, darling. Just a few friends. Oh, and a new person of Consuelo's.
I like this new person.
I think she's rather fun. Come and see.
How are you doing?
You know everyone, sir. Except for, Mrs. Ernest Simpson.
Wallace Simpson, sir.
How do you do, Mrs. Simpson? Wallace. The boy's name, surely.
Oh, no, sir. It's W-A-L-L-I-S.
It's short for Bessie Wallace. Consuelo says.
It's the Bessie part I'd like to forget, sir.
Oh, why? England's good Queen Bess, what?
Oh, no. It's the habit of double names, a silly American habit.
What's so silly about it?
Well, if you don't think Bessie Wallace is silly, sir, pity a poor friend of mine whose mother's name was Rosebud and his father's name was Edwin. The result, Budwin.
Yes, that's pretty gossip, isn't it?
What?
Yes, of course. Freda, darling, how are you today? How are the children?
We're all well. Happy Christmas, and God bless you for the new year, David.
Wonder how many New Years it is since you first wished me that.
More than either of us cares to remember, I expect.
Be telling, wouldn't it? Darling, I'm sending over the presents that I got for the children.
Did I ever tell you how I first met him?
Oh, no, Thelma, please tell.
It was at the Leicester Fair, of all places. He was pinning a blue ribbon on a cow. He saw me watching. Well, he knew who I was, of course.
Of course.
And he came straight over to me and asked me to dine with him when I was next in London. So I said, quite untruthfully, that I'd be there the following week. And he named the day, 8 o'clock, St. James's Palace. Just like that. Well, then, of course, I had to go up especially, and Duke wanted to know why. He was a bit winded when I told him.
Well, what was said at dinner?
Nothing much, except he asked if we could meet again.
A question expecting the answer, yes.
And getting it.
In every sense.
Well, it was a bit of a walkover, I'm afraid. And yet, besides adoring his looks and the rest of it, I felt so sorry for him.
Oh?
You know, being brought up to be a prince and not a person. And all the time desperately needing to know that people liked him for himself.
Well, I thought at least one other lady had been reassuring.
You mean Freda Dudley Ward? His old flame. He met her during the war, in an air raid. She took shelter in someone's house when the warning went, and there he was, dancing in the cellar. They danced their way out together, you might say.
And they still take a turn round the floor from time to time. Quite often one hears. She must have very tough roots in him, or he in her.
She has a great hold on him. It's partly habit. Oh, and a very good habit, too. She's fearfully attractive, and everybody adores her. And she's helping him to organize clubs and things for the poor.
Feathers clubs, from the Prince of Wales's feathers, for the unemployed.
Oh, so you know all about it?
No, not really. Ernest was talking about it the other day. He said something about, the Prince was making a speech at the Albert Hall, and it was going to be recorded for broadcast sometime later this week, I think.
Oh, I must listen to it. Oh, I'm not really in on that side of him. Freda Dudley Ward is queen there.
Ah, but he is far more interested in you. I've watched him when you're with him. When you talk to him, he wears a giving look.
Oh, he certainly listens to my suggestions. I got him to have a Christmas tree at the fort last year, for the first time.
You can do much better than that, my dear. You can get him to have me and Ernest to Belvedere for the first time.
You want to be invited to the fort?
Yes, to the fort. Well, I've known him over 2 years, and we've never been invited to the fort.
Oh, well, I'm sure I can arrange it.
Oh, Thelma, you are a dear. You will brighten up my dreary life.
Oh, but I thought you and Ernest were very contented.
Contentment is for domestic animals. Human beings need more excitement. At least Wallace Simpson does.
The fort isn't all that exciting.
It will be to me after Bryanston Court.
Now, we cannot hope to influence directly the trend of international affairs. But close at hand is a domestic problem, vast and baffling if looked at in the mass, yet easier to help when broken up into individual pieces.
Yes, that's very right. Shh. Your turn later, Mommy.
I'm thinking now of each member of the unemployed population as a single, separate personality, beset by depression, laboring under a sense of frustration and futility.
You're not interested?
Very, in the singer rather than the song.
Our singers like their songs to be appreciated. I know I do.
Oh, I'll appreciate this one. I'll study it in one of the papers. And you should, too, before the weekend.
Before the weekend?
We're invited to Fort Belvedere by the Prince for the weekend.
I love lovely it is to see you and Ernest here.
How very kind of His Royal Highness to invite us.
Oh, hello, Ernest.
Good evening, Wallace.
Good evening, sir.
Do come.
Yes,
now,
come,
won't
sir.
you?
Thank
Come on,
you.
we have a lovely fun.
Good evening, Ernest. Do come in, won't you? Now, as this is Wallace and Ernest's first visit to the fort, I think I should explain the house rules. There's only one, that you must enjoy yourselves at all times.
Now, you stay up as late as you like and do just as you please. Right, sir?
Absolutely. I ain't asked my friends to the fort. It's my retreat from public life. And that's the way I like it.
That sounds lovely, doesn't it, Ernest?
Certainly does.
Now, lunch will seem to be ready. Will you bring our guests in, Thumb? Bring your drinks with you.
Now, look, I must warn you. His Royal Highness has a running battle with the undergrowth and has dedicated himself to winning it. Ernest, you'll be enlisted to help. Just wait and see. Now, whilst you're over there... Oh, what a beautiful room. But Ernest opposite you.
Oysters.
You fond of oysters, Wallace?
Oh, yes, I love them, and they remind me of home.
Actually, they're from His Royal Highness's personal oyster beds. One of the advantages of being the Duke of Cornwall. Do help yourselves.
Thank you.
Selma, have we invited people over for dinner this evening?
No, sir.
Good.
But I have an idea. Why don't we show my cine film of our African safari?
Oh, Selma, not again.
Oh, well, we haven't seen it, sir.
Have you not, Ernest? Really, I'm surprised to hear that. The film, you know, is at least 4 years old. And Thelma's been dining out on her safari story since then.
Sir, you're joking about one of the most amazing and terrifying experiences of my life.
In what way, Thelma?
My first night under canvas, I was scared to death. I kept imagining all sorts of dreadful things happening. And one night, it did. A wild beast actually found its way into my tent.
A wild beast in your tent? Well, I do hope you were looking your best.
Wallace, you're teasing, but I was petrified. Well, I turned on my torch, and there was a hyena with one of my shoes in its mouth.
Well, Thelma, I don't think hyenas ever attack people.
Not if they're alive.
And Thelma certainly was there. Legend has it her voice was heard in Nairobi.
I didn't know until later that they were scavengers.
And all the brute wanted was a bit of shoe leather.
But, sir, you have to admit my film is quite unique. Ernest, I have a sequence of a little native boy being clawed by a lion.
Well, that's unfortunate.
It was. But I kept right on filming. Unfortunately, another boy ran up and speared the lion. It's quite remarkable. I'm sure you'll think so, too. After the film, we can roll up the carpet and dance. 3/4 time, sir?
3/4 time?
It's a joke we have.
Our very first night out together was at the Hotel Splendide, and we danced all night to their Viennese orchestra.
That 3/4 time. Very romantic, Thelma. But does sound like fun.
Good. That's tonight. What about after lunch, sir?
Well, this afternoon I've got my work cut out clearing more undergrowth. Could I suggest that you might perhaps like to lend a hand?
That was a suggestion, not an order. You might prefer a round of golf.
Thank you.
Thank you, Thelma, but I prefer the suggestion.
Good.
And I'll come along for moral support.
Be delighted if you would.
Mustard, Wallace.
Well, thank you, Thelma, dear.
Darling, where are the candles?
Well, the cake wasn't big enough to hold them all.
Anyway, candles are for children.
And for the childish, Thelma, dear.
Wallace may be growing older, but none of us will ever know.
Oh, here. Well said.
May I have the honor of the next dance?
Of course, sir. But the honor is all mine.
Aha, a rebel in our midst. Now, Angie, if you're going to be presented this season, you'll have to curtsy properly. My mother's very hard on it. Now, show me. Not bad.
Thank you, sir.
But not good. You'll never be debutante of the year. Primrose Salt do a dance I better than that. Now, try it again.
I'm not sure I want to be debutante at all.
Yes, you do. Now, come on, try it again. That's better. Much better. Very good.
Guess who's there this weekend?
Freda Dudley Ward, his good habit.
Oh, sometimes I'm not so sure. Consider his position.
Well, it's a very fine position, the finest position in the world, perhaps. Thelma, a man must have companionship for his leisure. And from what you say, well, she's not only a good companion, but also an attractive one.
Who has a tremendous hold over him. He always goes to see her, and no one has ever quite got him away.
Really?
But she's married, and it's time Prince Charming found his own wife.
Well, Prince Charming is traditionally a bachelor.
Yeah, but he has to get married in the last act. When the time draws near for him to be king, he has to find a girl of suitable age and rank. But our prince shows no sign of being interested in that idea. He only likes women who are married already, like Freda Dudley Ward.
And Thelma Furness.
Yes, but Freda started it all, don't you see? She got him into the habit of married women. She provided him with a ready-made family. All the comforts of marriage. And none of the duties.
Why should you care? It means you're more likely to keep him. Or rather, you're sharing him.
Well, the king must have a son.
He's not king yet.
He must find a proper wife for the future King of England.
Not much room for the likes of you in this new life you prescribed for him.
Oh, of course not. When he's king, he must give up the likes of me.
You've become very British in some ways, Thelma. I myself remain at heart American. I should never bow myself out so respectfully.
And nor shall I. Until it's necessary. After all, it's not as if I can marry him myself.
Why not? You could always get a divorce from Duke with his record.
Wallace Simpson. Future kings of England do not marry divorced women.
You mean they never have?
Oh, you still have a lot to learn about the British.
Now, 9 of hearts, 3 of hearts, and Mineral wins again. And Angie wins.
Yes, how much this time?
Oh, good gracious, 10 shillings.
Well, come on, then. Pay up.
No, I don't carry money, Angie, but you shall have it tomorrow, darling.
Well, then I'll bet you double or quits I'll beat you next time we play.
Anne's become a perfect miser. She never does anything now except for money.
No, that's not true.
Time for bed, isn't it?
Yes, it's time to...
Come along, Angie. Otherwise, you'll have the most dreadful bags under your eyes like me.
Then when you're presented at court, Primrose Salt, who never stays up late, will wipe you clean off the floor.
Good game, darling.
Yes, won by 5 and 3. I was a bit lucky, though.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maggie. So, what are the plans of the week?
I'm not sure. I've had a letter from Gloria in California, and she wants me to join her. I feel I ought to go. You wouldn't mind, would you?
For how long?
5 or 6 weeks. Oh, I don't want to leave you, but I do want to see Gloria.
Well, darling, you must decide for yourself. I shall miss you very much, of course, but... You want to go?
You're sure you don't mind?
No.
Good. Bond Street. I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
Excited?
But sad. Leaving David. Now, Wallace, is there anything that I can get you from California?
No, thank you. My tastes are now very European. Oh, Thelma, the little man is going to be so lonely when you're gone.
Yeah. The distance makes the heart grow fonder. And he's going to be very busy these next few weeks with tours, including a real horror in Wales.
Oh.
You look after him for me while I'm away, Wallace. See he doesn't get into any mischief.
Since you asked me, I'll do my best.
I'm sure that more could be done to give these people hope.
You've done all you can, sir.
Not enough. Smiles and sympathy, it's not enough.
You've had a long and arduous day, sir.
And a depressing one. What can I do to help them?
Your presence here cheered them greatly, sir.
But what can I do to help them?
We're coming into Brecon now, sir. Sir, we're coming to the school children.
All right, then.
Narrow squeak.
Hope you don't mind my using you as an alarm clock, Sir Percy. Sound the bell again at the next village, would you, even if it's only a pair of cottages? Well, it has been lovely. Thank you both. I've stayed far too long, but I was going now. The car be waiting to take me home, and I'm dining alone tonight.
Oh, well, then why not stay here and have potluck with us, sir?
Were you sure? That'd be all right.
Of course, you're most welcome. Let me get you another drink.
Oh, Ernest, could someone tell Ladbroke?
Certainly, sir. Just get water.
You heard from Thelma?
No, sir. Letters aren't in her line.
No, I've had a cable or two, but she's pretty vague about what she's doing.
Thelma is a vague creature. Perhaps she'll be more specific when she discovers whether she's on the east or the west coast.
Well, chin-chin, happy days.
And to you, sir. And to all of us. I hope Thelma's having happy days in America.
Yes. Whichever coast she's on.
Well, really, Duke, I don't see how you can be so stuffy. No, I didn't. And even if I did, I think it ill becomes you to complain with your recent entries in the form book. Duke, is somebody coming? Yes, yes, but tell me tomorrow, sweetie. Goodbye. Oh, I hope you miss me a little more than that, darling. Well, here I am, home again.
So I see. I hear the Earl of Khan has been very attentive to you.
Oh, surely not jealous, darling.
No. I simply hope that after the lavish entertainment of life at sea, you won't be bored at the fort. Would you like to come down for the weekend?
Yes, of course. That would be lovely.
Friday, then? Tea time?
Thelma, darling, how wonderful to see you again. But you look dreadfully under the weather.
Yeah, I have a horrible cold. But it isn't that, Wallace.
Oh, we don't want to be disturbed for any reason. If the phone rings, say I'm out.
Very good, Mel.
Thelma, darling, what is it?
Wallace, I had to come. Well, the prince looked in at lunchtime today and was very peculiar. Can you tell me anything?
What do you mean by peculiar?
Well, he seems to have heard some story about the Ali Khan.
Oh, that was newspaper gossip. None of us paid any attention to it. I assure you, Thelma, dear, the little man loves you. Well, he was just lost without you when you were gone.
So nothing has changed?
Excuse me, ma'am. Telephone.
I told you I was out.
It's His Royal Highness, madam.
Yes, I think so. Thelma's here now. Yes. Of course. I understand. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Wallace?
Yes, Thelma.
Wallace, the prince looked in. When he looked in, he asked me if I would go to the fort this weekend, and I wondered if you and Ernest would care to come. It might help.
Of course, darling. We'll be there. You can count on us.
Oh, here we are. Yes. I think those will do very nicely.
Well, they're lovely, Mummy.
It's the least we can do for her, after the dreadful time your poor sister's had in hospital.
Let's see now. Sphere, stage, horse and hound, and Tatler. I say, Mummy, listen to this. About the beastly Thelma Furness.
She's, in fact, rather a charming woman, Angie.
Well, it says here, She had dinner 5 times with Ali Khan on her way back from America. Is that charming, Mummy?
Don't be so judging.
Says Ali Khan cancelled all his appointments to get on the same boat. And then asked her to dinner 5 nights running. I think that the little prince will be rather cross with Thelma Furness.
I dare say he might be.
Well, good. Now he'll spend more time with us.
Haven't you noticed anything?
No. What?
Well, I didn't think about it at all during Pember's illness, but it's more than 3 weeks since he's telephoned us.
Well, that's not like him. Ring and see what's the matter.
Good morning. This is Mrs. Dudley Ward. Is His Royal Highness in? Oh. Well, I'll try again later. Thank you.
Thank you, Osborne.
Yes, they've done very well, but I don't think I want to bring them out of the greenhouse just yet. It's a little bit cold.
Thank you, Osborne.
Oh, Thelma, there you are.
There you are. We were just in the garden, weren't we, sir?
Hello.
Hello. Do sit down, Thelma.
Yes, sit
Told
down.
His Majesty to change his shoes and socks. It's very wet outside. I warned him he might get a cold like yours, Thelma.
Yes, there's a lot of it about.
Tea? I know, with milk only. I'm getting very accustomed to your English tea time. And you, sir, a cup of tea with milk. And I know you'd like some sugar, but you can't have it because it's bad for you. No, naughty boy.
Excuse me.
Martha, could I speak to His Royal Highness? Orders not to put me through. Thank you, Martha.